On today's episode of Locked On Stars, we're doing a Dallas Stars jersey ranking. What is your favorite Stars sweater and what is the worst? All that and more next.
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer 105 through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. Happy Monday. Today's episode is all about fun. We're going to rank every single Dallas Stars jersey throughout franchise history, and we're going to put them in a tier list. Play along with me today. Go ahead and drop in the comments below your all-time favorite Stars sweater and your least favorite of all time. I'm interested to hear y'all's answers because it's all subjective, so don't come at me too hard in the comments below when I share you my list. I also want to touch on a lawsuit between the NCAA and CHL. Some interesting stuff in the world of hockey I want to get into before we leave on today's episode of Locked On Stars. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. Never miss an episode. It is very, very much appreciative. So let's go ahead and jump right into this thing. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to be using tiermaker.com. I'm sure many of you have seen this on Twitter and different social medias, and you can make a list of absolutely anything. And this is actually created by a Stars fan, Brand TR 39. If you are a Locked On Stars listener, thank you so much for making this because this is a lot of fun. So the tiers go as this. You have an S tier, which is the very, very top. This is the Superstar. This is the Supreme. Then it follows A, B, C, and D. We're going to go in chronological order. I'm going to rank every single Stars jersey. I'm sure some opinions are going to get pretty heated maybe in the comments below, but for the most part, I think the Stars have a nice array of jerseys. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Starting with the jerseys from 93 to 97, the original Dallas Stars sweaters when they moved from Minnesota. And we first go with the blacks, which are very, very sleek. I was really, really pumped when they brought back the black in the reverse retros. I think black is such an underrated color when it comes to the Dallas Stars. They've really embraced the green now over the last decade or so, but the black is so sleek looking. I don't think it's an S, but I think it's an A. It is a really, really solid jersey. So I give them some props. They go in the A column there. There's not really a particular jersey that I absolutely hate. I'm sure some of you will have some very strong opinions on certain ones. I don't necessarily have a really strong opinion, except on one or two, and we'll certainly get into that later on today's show. Now we go to what I think is possibly one of the best sweaters of all time. I completely love this white jersey with the black trim around the shoulders. You have the Texas outline on the shoulders. I don't know what it is. This is just my creme de la creme Stars sweater. You got the white and, of course, the black trim on the shoulders, and then you have the bars around the waist. I think this is an S all day. That's going in the S category for me. I absolutely love it. A strong start for the Dallas Stars in terms of their sweater, and that logo will never get old. I like the new logo. It's more modern, of course, but nothing will ever replace this original Stars logo. It's perfect. The gold in there, I mean, my goodness, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. What can I say? Alrighty, this moves us into what we would call the Stanley Cup era of Dallas Stars hockey. They had these sweaters from 97 to 2006 or so, and they introduced, of course, the infamous Mooterus jersey, as they quite aptly nicknamed it. But anyways, we're going into the original 99, the dark greens, the Stanley Cup winning sweaters. These are an absolute S. I don't know how you can put them in any other category. I think it's just, they're so beautiful. This one even has the Stanley Cup logo patch on it, which is sick. Just the star outline as well, created by like the white, gold, and black bars is really creative. I think in the modern age, we almost get away from creativity and we just try to make everything looks so sharp and so clean. And this, I think, just embodies the 90s too, and early 2000s. It was an interesting concept. Not interesting, but it was good. It was really, really, really solid. That goes into the S. And of course, we all have fantastic memories thinking about the Dallas Stars. And these are the sweaters I grew up watching the Stars play in before they moved on to a different era. But these were like the creme de la creme Dallas Stars era of hockey, and I don't think anything matches up to that in a lot of ways. And to be fair, I think when most people hear the name Dallas Stars, they probably think of that sweater. And I'm sure many of you think the same way. We'll go ahead with the home whites as well, which I think are really good. I probably would put these in the B category, and I know it's almost completely same as the away ones, but it doesn't quite do it for me. So I put those in the B. I may be a bit biased towards some of these, but I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the B category. Alrighty, now this moves on to the infamous black cow red jersey, who, of course, a lot of people have very strong opinions. And this came out, I think it was in 05, a really, really interesting piece. I have to say, I never hated this as much as others, and I think it was because I was really, really young, and this was just a cool concept to me. As someone that was probably in their 20s or 30s, this would probably be just puke on a jersey. But for me, I kind of liked it. It's not fantastic, but I thought it was interesting. I'm going to put it in the C. Alrighty. I'm sure for many of you, this is like an F, and put it in the dumpster fire, but I'll be honest, I didn't hate it that much. I believe they were absolutely terrible in these jerseys as well. I don't know if they ever won a single game. I don't think they wore it for more than 10 games because their record was just not very good at all, and they really, really struggled. So it didn't stay very long, but it made an impact. It made a splash, and it seems to be a part of Dallas Stars lore. So I'm going to put that in the C category. I don't have enough hate for it to put it in the D. I don't know why. I always had fond memories of this jersey, and you have to spare me. I was 7 years old, and that was just pretty cool to me. So that's where I'm putting it in the C category. Alrighty. Then we get to kind of our first maybe rebrand, not really a huge one, but from 07 to 2013, they went to a more, I guess, boring style. I don't know how to explain it. It was just more kind of clean cut. You have the Dallas across the chest. Of course, you had the away jersey that had the Stars logo as well. And you had the number on the right shoulder as well, the right pec, which wasn't necessarily a great idea. Now looking back on it, this is a C for me too. It's just the original Stars logo. I don't love the number on the top right. Doesn't do a whole lot for me. All in all, just kind of a bland sweater. The funny thing was, I actually played for the Dallas Stars youth teams during this era. So these are the jerseys I got. Like, I missed out on like some really cool ones, but I got these. So I wasn't necessarily thrilled about it, but that's how 9-year-old and 10-year-old Joey was thinking. I couldn't have gotten the ones from like a few years ago when they were completely sick and they won a Stanley Cup in. Oh, well, I guess we'll have to deal with these. Okay, the last one before we go to a break is the black, just Dallas sweater across the chest. Of course, this rings some memories with Mike Modano in his last game ever. in a Stars sweater. That game against Anaheim at the American Airlines Center was one to remember for forever, and it has the number 9 on this jersey. I would put this in the B though. I don't love these sweaters. I really don't. I never got into it. Like, it's just boring. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, like, it just says Dallas across the chest and it's black. And I like black with Star sweaters, as I alluded to earlier in today's episode. Look at my S tier. It's got a lot of black in it. But these are just a little too plain for me. I give it a B because I think it does pop a little bit. So I'll put it in that category. I think that's fair. But these are my first 7 jerseys ranked of Dallas Stars sweaters of all time. I think we got a good mix. The next 7 are going to be a lot of fun because they get a little more wonky and a little bit more fun as well. So we'll go ahead on the other side. We'll get into those in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform for you. When you're searching for a candidate, you don't want to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Just use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/lockedon. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. So our jersey rankings continue on today's episode of Locked On Stars. By the way, thank you so much for making Locked On Stars your first listen of the day. Make your second listen of the day the Locked On NHL podcast, a national podcast perspective on all things NHL each and every day. It's available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. All righty, we begin the second half of our Dallas Stars jersey rankings. Let me know how I'm doing so far. It could be completely atrocious, but I have some bias, of course. So do not come at me too hard in the comments below. These are the 20th anniversary white jerseys, and it's pretty much exactly like the black Dallas ones that just have Dallas scripted across the chest, except this one has the 20th anniversary logo in the top right. I think I put that in the C category. Not much to love about it, not much to hate either, just kind of simple, and that seems to be that sort of era of Dallas Stars hockey. Alrighty, now we get into the big rebrand, and this was a really interesting time because there was a little kind of documentary that was put out by the Stars about the process making the jerseys, creating a new logo, the colors and everything. I know there was some talk about possibly going to a red and blue jersey or using those colors, red, blue, and white. Like, of course, the Texas Rangers are that. The Mavericks are blue and the Cowboys, but they thought we should stick to the original green color. That kind of stands out. I'm really, really glad they did. I think just stars and green sort of goes together. I don't know how that correlates, but it just makes sense, and that's the Stars' identity. And luckily for us, they decided to stick to that. So in 2013, and now this is to the present day, they have their greens and whites, which I really, really like. I know some people weren't thrilled at it. I'm interested to hear if any of you initially hated these and then they've kind of grown on you as the years have gone by. But I do really like the logo. I think it's really nice. I don't think it's as good as the original. I'm not going to go quite there, but I really like the green. This is an A jersey for me. The home sweaters, I really enjoy them. I really enjoy them. You got the green, and then you got the white and black bars across the stripes, and the arms have never really had a huge issue with them. I think you can kind of sort of see a theme throughout my rankings. I really like the dark color jerseys. Not a huge fan of the whites, and I know some people differ on those as well. The away jerseys, I would put them in the B. Not much to gripe about there. I do like the green and black stripes across the waist and the arms. I think that's really nice. And then the green, like shoulder patches, so to speak, not shoulder patches, but the green shoulders, I think is a nice touch as well. Instead of just going the all white, it breaks it up a little there as well. And I speaking like I'm some fashionista, which I'm sure many of you do not want to hear, but this is what we're doing today on today's episode of Locked On Stars. Okay, now we get to what I think is just so sick: the Dallas Stars Winter Classics. What a great time in Stars history I was able to attend. I'm sure many of you have. I'm still certain it's the second most attended Winter Classic of all time. What a perfect day it was. I was actually thinking about this a couple of days ago because my mom asked about it. And I said it was perfect because it was actually colder than they originally forecasted. And it was overcast, which was a big deal because it was pretty sunny throughout the week, and sun and ice do not mix, as many of you obviously understand. But it was like this overcast day. It was warm by most standards, but it was still chilly enough where you had to wear jeans and at least a jacket or a jersey. And what a fantastic day. They got off to a rough start. Corey Perry left early. They were down 2-0 as Nashville capitalized on a couple power plays, I believe, and then boom, the Stars came roaring back. But man, I love these jerseys so much. I bought this as soon as it went on the market. I got me a Miro Heiskanen one. Just the nod to the Dallas Texans, the history kind of involved in it. I like how they kept the green. I know many people wanted the North Stars colors and kind of give them a nod to that, but Dallas has never really embraced that. So I enjoyed that they kept with the victory green. The logo, it's so awesome. It's so dope. And the patch on I believe it's the left arm sleeve. They have the Texas outline, and I believe it's like a D in the middle as well. Just really cool stuff. That goes in the S tier for me. It has to. Really, really solid stuff. Now we get to the last 4 years of Stars jerseys, and these are the reverse retros and some of the alternates as well. We're going to begin with, this was the original reverse retro. I believe these were the icy whites is kind of what they called them. This is the 2021 reverse retro. And I think these were a hit and miss. I think they were a miss for the most part. I really like the concept of like an all white jersey, but they made the numbers like a gray silverish, and the names as well. I believe, I think the names had green on them, but the logo had like the silver, and the numbers were kind of silver too. It didn't really pop enough. So it was almost like hard to see that even on TV. It was like sort of hard to see numbers and even the logos. I think the concept was there. The execution wasn't practically great. I think these for me, honestly, go in the D category. I think it could have been done really, really well if they made the numbers sort of the green they had incorporated in some of the parts of the jersey. It would have popped out more, but I know they were trying to go for this sort of camouflage, like icy white sort of thing. And I just don't know if it was executed perfectly. So I'm going to put that one in the D category. That may be a bit harsh, but I feel like I got to put one there. So that's the one that's going to go there. Now we're going to go to the alternate jerseys, which they've worn a lot actually over the past few seasons. And these are the highlighters, which I really like. They kind of give a nod to the city, which I've always thought is cool. I know when they first came out, some people were like, whoa. I think I would suspect kids love these just because it's neon. It is bright. Not my favorite. I would put these in the B category though. I think it's just meh. I like that it's a different logo. The Texas outline is really cool. If you can put that on anything, I am all for it for the most part. And anything that's kind of incorporated into the city and sort of its identity, I really enjoy. So I put this in the B. I like the highlighter one. Not much to gripe about there. Now we get to our finale. And this is the 2022-23 reverse retros, is one I mentioned a bit earlier. I love that they brought the black back. I have a Rope Hintz jersey in this one specifically. I'm putting this in A. It's not quite an S. I would say it's closer to a B than it is an S. I love it. I like the silver stars. Give me the original logo, the black, and then you have the greens on the shoulders, down the sleeves. I just think it's really, really nicely done. Shout out to Adidas who made these. Just really, really great. So I put those in the A category as well. And that kind of wraps up my Dallas Stars jersey rankings. Let me know what you think. In the S tier, I have the 93 whites, I have the 99 greens, and the Stars Winter Classic. The A, I have the 93 blacks, I have the original Stars home jerseys, and the 22 reverse retro. The B category, I have the 99 whites, and then I have the 08 blacks. I have the away jerseys currently in the highlighter green. I have the Muteris in the C, along with two of the away white jerseys from the 06-13 era. And then I put the icy whites in the D category. Share with me your tier list as well. I'm interested to hear y'all's opinions on these. These are just mine. Maybe some of you completely disagree. Maybe some of you agree. So I'm curious to see. So there we go. That's my Dallas Stars jersey rankings list. I thought that was fun for today's episode of Locked On Stars. Alrighty, let's get into a more serious topic. The CHL has launched a lawsuit on the NCAA, which is pretty fascinating. And I want to share with you what that sort of entails and possibly how that could change the landscape of college hockey. We'll do that in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Okay, so an article came out on The Athletic last week about a lawsuit by the Canadien Hockey League on behalf of its players to play in the NCAA. It's a proposed class action lawsuit alleging that the NCAA is violating antitrust laws by preventing hockey players who appeared in Canadian Hockey League games from competing for NCAA teams. And as someone that cares about college hockey and loves it, I wanted to share this with y'all today. I don't necessarily have a strong opinion, but I am curious to see where this goes. So the plaintiff is Ryland Masterson, who played a couple of games for the Windsor Spitfires as a 16-year-old in 2022, which cost him any future shot at joining an NCAA team. And if you did not know, anybody or player that played in the CHL was not allowed to play in the NCAA. And the number one reason for this rule was to promote and protect amateurism, since the CHL allows players with NHL contracts to compete and pays a monthly stipend capped at $250. And we all know the amateurism thing is just a bunch of baloney now with NIL and how rampant it is. It's not as prevalent in hockey programs as it is in, let's say, Texas A&M football or Texas football, but you get the point. But the real interesting thing is, and where I don't think the NCAA has a great case, is The suit argues that the rule's actual purpose is to harm the CHL, the NCAA's primary competition for elite young players, and that in practice, it constitutes a group boycott that violates U.S. antitrust law. It also carves out of sorts that exist in men's hockey and skiing, but no other sport. The file also goes ahead and points out that the minimal amount of money paid to CHL players, calling the notion that they're true professionals unreasonable, and contrasting that with NCAA scholarships worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, as well as yearly stipends that can be worth nearly $6,000. It also points out the USHL, a junior league that generally acts as a feeder for NCAA schools rather than a primary competitor, pays its players stipends similar to that of the CHL. And one of those cases is, let's say, Macklin Celebrini. He played for the Chicago Steel for 1 to maybe 2 years, I believe, and then went to Boston University. And of course, this past summer was the number 1 pick in the NHL draft. And of course, this would change contracts. It would also change the talent pool in the NCAA. So how would that affect certain programs? From my perspective, in my opinion, I don't know if it would necessarily change a whole lot. Programs always seem to have an identity. My alma mater, St. Cloud State, for instance, didn't have a ton of what you would deem 5-star prospects coming to St. Cloud. They always recruited, from my eyes, players that may have been overlooked or underrated that came to St. Cloud that would stay for 3, 4 to 5 years and play out their college career. Programs like Michigan, Boston, BC, they're going to have some of those players, but for the most part, they have a lot of turnover. They get the Hughes brothers that come through like Michigan, and they leave after 1 or 2 years. The Celebrinis of the world, the Will Smiths, you name it. Those programs always sort of have high turnover. They get young players, and that's just sort of the way they kind of run their program. But teams like St. Cloud State, North Dakota, for that matter, they're generally older. They have guys that come and they stay so they can create a culture. And that's one of the reasons teams in the NCHC win a lot of national championships, like Denver. They get guys that are really good. They're not the Macklin Celebrinis of the world, but they all come to Denver and they win a ton of national championships together, and they've dominated over the last decade or so. So I don't necessarily see it improving or only benefiting the top teams in the NCAA. I think it actually could increase parity. You get some players that go to some of the lower Division I teams that could benefit them, because the Bedards of the world, the Celebrinis, they're always going to spend 1 or 2 years in a certain place before they move on. So I don't see like a ton of players from the CHL joining one specific program and kind of teaming up to make that just the program. I honestly kind of see it benefiting a ton of different programs, and maybe that's naive of me, but that's kind of where my stance on it is of right now. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I thought that was interesting and something I certainly wanted to touch on. So that'll wrap up today's episode of Locked On Stars. Thanks for indulging me in a Dallas Stars jersey ranking. Please let me know your list in the comment section below. Figure we have some fun today on today's episode, because just not a lot is happening right now in the world of hockey, even though there are some trades and stuff, but nothing specifically with the Stars. It would be a great day to sign Thomas Harley, though. So all done that. Have a great day. I'll see you Wednesday. So long, Stars fans.